Three myths and one truth. Which do you think is the truth? The answer is D. The pupil premium strategy can't be separated from the whole school strategy, but all the others are myths. We know this. Do all of our colleagues know it? And again, this is just supporting and empowering that understanding and knowledge to then be able to apply effectively our application of our strategy. So just some of these myths then. What might the negative consequences of believing this be? Only eligible children can benefit from pupil premium spending. Yeah, it's really important to emphasise damage the myth can have in schools, actually, this particular myth. Good teaching for SEND, PP children is good teaching for all, as we know. Other possible answers might be an intervention culture, that we just start using that money and we're just sticking an intervention here and there, and it may be that a child is in 4 different interventions because we just need to evidence we're doing something with it. It de-emphasises the absolute need for that quality teaching, counterproductive student groupings. Okay, let's have a look at the next myth. Has to be spent on interventions. What might be the negative consequences of believing this? We don't knee-jerk into implementing things that just aren't going to support and aren't going to have the impact. Yeah, intervention culture, de-emphasis on the teaching, high quality teaching, excessive reporting perhaps. And, you know, just as when I kind of deliver stuff around behaviour, if we're not getting it right in the classroom for all, if we're not levelling the playing field and having that level of accessibility, universal provision, then actually we can put all the interventions in place that we want. You know, I'm thinking about cell interventions, Thrive, ELSA, Circle of Friends, all the literacy interventions that you can have. But if we're not getting it right, and if that doesn't then triangulate with the classroom practice, we're just doing ourselves a disservice. Myth number 3, pupil premium spending can be justified using school data alone. What's the danger of that one? What about overconfident decision making, not recognising bias and error in the data? Could be excessive reporting and our teacher workload. It's important to, because there are myths, and I still hear in the language that's spoken in schools, if I, you know, with my SEND hat on, myths around SEND. So again, it's the constant drip, drip, drip. It's the constant reminder. And again, if that's the whole school strategy that every adult understands their part in, we start to dampen these myths. They start to go, for want of a better term. And finally, what about this one? It can't be used to support education recovery. You know, it might be that there are too many approaches for the same pupils, so excess interventions. And again, sometimes it's only when we look at our provision map or we put our provision map in place that we think, oh my goodness, loss of focus of disadvantaged pupils, and just that compliance attending funding reporting. So choosing approaches that can reveal an obvious spend. So just thinking about, again, just a few more myths. What are the barriers to learning for pupils from disadvantaged backgrounds? What would your staff say? Well, generally, colleagues will come back with this. I mean, I'm sure that there are others. Parent engagement or lack thereof, lack of aspiration, and that might be from parent carers and from the learners, and behaviour. I mean, that's going to come up, isn't it? Those are a product of, as opposed to necessarily the barrier to the learning. So let's have a look at, actually, reality is more like this. So, you know, this is our core business, isn't it? It's hard to shift, but it's in our gift. It's manageable. You know, when we look at behaviour, when we look at parent engagement, we talk about a hard to reach parents. Sometimes it's just, oh my goodness me, you know, it's such an uphill battle. We've been doing this for years and still, and actually, if we focus on that literacy, knowledge and skill, if we look at their numeracy, and if we really start to teach and support with metacognitive strategies, well, that's what's going to be the impact. That's going to support everything else. And again, it's in our gift. It's doable. Every one of us can be part of it.